Now, this all started when I was listening to Please Please Me. I noticed that on the back, it has a font like this. On the front, it's this font, this part here, in black, but it's like sized down. It's like someone made it smaller. But then I also noticed that this looks like that, but then it's italic on here. It's like sideways, but it's not like that on there, and it's not the right font, I don't think. So then I looked at the spine, and the spine has the italic. But why would this try to be replicating that, but then that doesn't replicate this? And it's just... And then once you notice something like that, you just start to notice it on all of them. Beatles for Sale, for instance. The font there is incredibly tiny and looks like that. That's what it looks like on the back. So then why does the spine have it in bold? If we're replicating it here, and if we're replicating what's on here, then why aren't we replicating what's on there on the spine? With the Beatles isn't exempt from this nonsense either. As you can see there, the letters are a little bit jumbled around. They're not sitting on the same line. But then on the spine, which replicates the font on the front, it's not like that. Also, Beatles isn't capitalized on the front, but on the spine, it is, despite the width not being capitalized. Now, on the back, it's not jumbled like that either. It also is centered instead of being on the side, like Please Please Me and Beatles for Sale. And you know what? Well, can't stop there. Got to talk about Hard Day's Night, too. Now, Hard Day's Night is interesting because of the way it's formatted. Now, on each Beatles album, typically where the title is, varies. Like, Please Please Me is down here, with the Beatles is up here. Beatles for Sale is here and doesn't have the white border. But this is very close to With the Beatles. But then on the side, it's got the same font as Beatles for Sale, but not the font on the front. But then on the back, it's not the right font either. Also, for some reason, it says The Beatles Hard Day's Night there. But then on the back, it said A Hard Day's Night, The Beatles. And on the side, it says A Hard Day's Night, The Beatles. Just pick one. I'm sure much of this inconsistency stuff is due to trying to replicate the vinyls. If you want to talk about replicating the vinyls, the 2009 remasters are some of the most annoying cases I've ever dealt with on a CD. You got a standard jewel case, you open it, you pull the CD out, that's the end of it. You got a little insert that you can put stuff in, like information and stuff that was on the original vinyl. But this tries to replicate the vinyl in and of itself, and all of them are gatefolds. Every single one of these is a gatefold, even if the original wasn't. Also, I have to question, why is the Apple logo here, but then the disc itself replicates the Capitol vinyl? Why would the Apple logo be here then? Also, this thing doesn't want to stay in its spot. Now, this is a replication of the art book found in the... At this port, I said, Please Please Me instead of Magical Mystery Tour, so... Haha! Original Please Please Me vinyl. It has the picture that's on the back of the vinyl. And that's all fine, but since it's not attached, it just falls out. Like that. It's just frustrating. Additionally, it's incredibly annoying to try and get that CD out. It slides out fine if you keep moving it, but if it's been sitting for a while, it's gonna get stuck, and there's no good way to pull it out. It seems like there's no good Beatles CD that's just perfect. Like, Let It Be, for instance. What is this? It's just white. I get that it's replicating the UK version, but would it kill them to just replicate the US? It's not that different. It would provide a lot more interesting of an insert. And this nonsense doesn't stop on the outside. It continues on the inside. Something that's nice about each of them is that they put whatever's on the back of the vinyl on the inside. like Beatles for Sale here, With the Beatles, Hard Day's Night, and Please Please Me. But the disc itself is frustrating. These are the first 4 Beatles albums, and they all have the title on the top, the information on each side, and then the track list on the bottom. And then Let It Be has the name of the band at the top, the track list on the side, the information crammed on the other side, and then the title of the album at the bottom. Why? Now, the remasters also have inconsistencies, but I can excuse this because they're trying to replicate the original vinyl labels, a capital and an apple. So they would have different labels, so it's fine that they look like this. I don't have a problem with this. It's when we're putting titles on the bottom instead of the top for no reason is when I get annoyed. Why does the White Album have black on the sides and top and bottom? Isn't the whole point of the White Album's cover is that it's supposed to be white? The whole thing is white? Then why are we putting black? That's the opposite. Why would you do that? Another thing about the White Album, what is this? Why is the title of the album on both sides? I get it's the name of the band and the name of the album, but come on. It's not there twice on the front. Take Red and Blue, for instance. Name of the band, title. Name of the band, title. So then why are we fucking it up on these two? Once again, we're just putting the title on both sides. When you put it on a shelf, it looks like you have 2 of the same disc, when in reality, they're double albums. And that especially becomes annoying when you get Anthology 2 and 3, which had the exact same spine. How do you mess this up when you have 2 releases that came years before these 2? And we're not done bitching about Live at the BBC yet. Why would you put a white font like that? It just makes it so you can't even read it. And, I know who it is, but I can't even read that for the life of me. And, of course, it's inverted on the other side, so it's black there, where you can actually read it. And if that White Album cover wasn't enough, why are the discs also white? Did we not learn our lesson here? Just make them reflective. Also, these seem to take the Let It Be route of the track list on the side, and I'm so glad we need to put the band's name twice, as if that's not enough. Seriously, look at this. It's on the front, it's on the disc twice, it's on the booklet, since it's a double album, it's on the other disc twice, it's on the back, and then it's on the spine twice, on both sides. Are you fucking kidding me? Now, I can excuse us a few things here. The track list is on the bottom, and the title is on the top. But there's no dividing lines like on the earlier albums. And the font is in red. Why? I get why it's red, but why no lines? Now, because Sgt. Pepper's doesn't have the thing like a lot of other albums do where the title is at the top, and so they can't really put that on the spine anywhere like that with the same font. They just went for a completely different one, but it just looks so weird. Like, it's so big and just looks wrong. I don't know what to say about it. It just doesn't look right. Excluding With the Beatles and whatever's going on with Please Please Me, all of them have the same font. But then this one comes along and uses something different. For what reason? It's also the only one with a red spine. At least with Let It Be, there's Revolver, which also has a black spine. But it's just red. It just stands out. It just looks dumb. And no, Let It Be does not gotta pass with this fucking shit. All the titles are up here. Why is this one in the middle? Even Sgt. Pepper's, which is like the longest title, gets it right. Why is it flipped upside down on one side? Why does Passmasters have this weird font for the Beatles logo? And oh boy, I hope they didn't put the track list. Oh my fucking god. Yeah, I can't stop at Beatles. I gotta bitch about Blur too. Why is it Japanese on the spine? It's fine on the cover, but why not on the spine? And why is the back just this and not the track list? You have to go out of your way to open up the case and get this other insert for the track list. Now, this is how it should have been on everything. It should have had the English and the Japanese. I don't know why they couldn't do that. Again, the cover's fine, but why not the spine? On either side, too. And since they decided to take it up with whatever this is, they had to put all the copyright information on the side where you can't even read it. Not that I care, but it's still annoying. The Ballad of Darren is seriously the worst CD case I've ever had to deal with. You know, Magic Whip might have been annoying with the way it formatted it. This is just annoying about everything. First of all, I mean, the spine's okay, but it's so much taller than a standard jewel case. Why? And we got the poster in this side, which, you know, is fine. We got the insert here. It's like Magical Mystery Tours vinyl. But the problem with the book is that it doesn't let the CD case close. So, it just looks like that. The disc itself is over here in its own little other sleeve, which, you know, is fine for protection and everything. I still don't like the paper idea, but I mean, this is okay. But I can't excuse the fact that it just doesn't close. And it sits so much taller than everything else. There's no reason for it to sit that tall. It's just annoying. Why is Yellow Brick Road's spine so small? Now, for some reason, the cassette decides to put the title at the top. You know, which is fine. You keep the cover art there. That doesn't look that bad. It's incredibly small, but you have to sacrifice for a cassette version. And the title helps, you know, to give a title. You don't just have to rely on the drum here. But I don't get why they couldn't even be consistent with different versions of the same fucking thing. The font is so much thicker on here compared to the CD. Just have them both be the same. It's the same album. It's the same release kind of date. You can't even put the double albums on a CD rack because they're too thick to fit and there's no way for them to slide in. And that would be fine, but there's so many of them. There's the White Album, Anthology 1, Anthology 2 and 3, which I don't have, Live at the BBC, Live at the BBC 2, which I don't have, Red, Blue. Why are there so many double albums like this? God, at least Back by Bodacious Demand doesn't have any of these problems. God damn it. So, fucking on this. This is the best one. This is the best one. You get the name, the copyright, the title, the track list, all the copyright down here. You get the disc, which just has the name of the band, the copyright, and the title. The track list is right next to it, and if you need it on the back, then it's there, like I said. And the disc is just a disc. That's all you need. This is all you need. Yeah, exactly. The book is there. It's an actual book. You can look at stuff in it. It's got like pictures from the stage show and stuff. This is a perfect case. And you know what? This is also a good release. Band, title, even though it's just a number. Never mind, it's not perfect. Like, I can excuse this being in the middle because it's slightly more toward the top. But this is just ridiculous. You can barely read this. And why isn't it just spelled out 1? We already know you did that one art. It's on the front. It's on the disc. You guys like my pink version of 1? Maybe I'll just become a gorilla collector. God damn it.